Malaysia is modernizing fast. But as we evolve, are we losing the roots of who we are? Hello and welcome to Women Talk. My name is Anita Woo and today we're discussing an interesting topic. As Malaysia continues on in this era of globalization and modern living, we ask ourselves this question: how do we let tradition meet innovation? And how do we find new ways of expressing our heritage? We have Fatimah Abu Bakar, whom I will affectionately refer to as Auntie Fati, true to our culture, who is a known figure in culture and arts as well as a veteran actress. And we have Carissa Chong, who is the National Director for Miss Universe Malaysia, who is, of course, in her own right, also a former pageant queen, model and MC. So welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's start off with you, Auntie Fati.
Okay.
You have witnessed and molded as well generations of Malaysians, and you've seen how this kind of evolution has been from your parents, your grandparents, and right down to the young children, teens and adolescents that you coach and teach. So what do you think has changed most about how we connect with our cultural identity and the evolution that you've kind of seen?
I'd like to say the mindset. Yeah, especially for young Malaysians, you realize they are now more confident to be in their own skin, more confident to be who they are, to be truly Malaysian. Look at the way they dress, look at the food they eat, the music, the films they watch. Truly Malaysian,
In that sense, would you say that, you know, in how so much of the world has been influenced by the media and westernization, it's just been a growing trend in Asia. How do you find the younger generation of today straddling that balance?
I think they're doing pretty well from what I can see lah. You know, like for example, take banyak examples. I'll take one, which is if you remember the kereta api sarung.
Yes.
Yeah. So that just shows young Malaysians
looking forward,
embracing themselves again, taking pride in who they are,
with all the
tradition and they're celebrating who they are, you know, in all the different multiculturalism to some, and they're having so much fun doing that, you know. So it's like hop on the train, you don't know where you're going, but you know, come together, you know, and let's just celebrate Malaysia on Malaysia Day lah.
Yes.
But I think that's the spirit that permeates throughout.
I think you're right.
To me, I think modern heritage would be very much celebrating who we are, but evolving with times. You know, it's about like taking the values, the stories, the artistry from past generations and actually bringing it to life in today's time. So to me, that's how I would see modern heritage.
I like it that they see being Malaysian, being hanging on to kita punya traditions, although being modern, that's cool.
Yeah.
So to me, you know, that's how it is.
Do you like how cool my bolero is?
Exactly.
Look from where this has come from, the songket, you know, where we traditional will only wear it during weddings and, you know, really could, how do you call it? Macam very cultural punya, punya context and all that. But now it's made modern. You can wear like what you're doing now, you know, it's, you know, it's more modern. Like what I'm wearing now, you know, it's like the baju kedah.
But modernized version.
Modernized, you know, and it's still encompassed. So we are being modern, but at the same time, we're not losing who we are.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic to also recognize for ourselves.
Yeah.
What's one tradition or value that you feel that we shouldn't let go of?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think for me, personally, I think it's the value of community, because I think we as Malaysians are very, very strong in community in the sense where we're so diverse. You know, we're already diverse in our race, our ethnicity, our language, food, you know, and we celebrate so many different cultures all together. And I think that's one thing I really hope Malaysians don't lose touch with, because that, in essence, what makes us as Malaysian. It's like one Malaysia, and we will never that's just our roots.
It's a fabric of society.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Auntie Fati?
Okay, I bring it to on a more personal level. The one tradition that I insist in my family is salam.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but whether it's a relative or friends. As long as he or she is somebody older, somebody you respect, somebody you love, you just salam. So there's something that I will insist in the family. So all my chuchus, it doesn't matter whether they do it like salam like this or something they salam and they put it to the head, It doesn't matter, janji. You salam.
It's the
respect. Yeah. And I just feel that is who we are. We respect the elders, and larger on a larger level, we respect tradition lah.
Absolutely. Exactly. On that note, before we go for a quick break, I think it's very heartwarming. You can see traces of someone being Malaysian, no matter how long they've lived abroad or gone away, because somehow when they come back, even when they shake your hand, they still tarik to the hati, right?
Yes. Precisely. Yeah, I know.
And that,
to the heart.
Yeah, and that I think is such a wonderful Malaysian thing in our culture. All right, with that, we're going to continue more of this conversation right after this quick break. Don't go away.
Through my years of training and studies, I have developed a liking towards jazz, classical music and Malay traditional music. I would say that my music is a blend of Malayan pop music from the 40s and 50s and mixed with a little bit of Latin rhythms. So I try to find a balance in introducing our heritage to the modern world, the world of today. And throughout my training and study, I have actually created a liking into jazz and classical music, Western classical, and also our Malay traditional music. So I would say my music is a mixture of the pop 40s and 50s Malayan music and mixed with Latin rhythms and also jazz styles. I love to see how the women from this era, the era of 50s and 40s, how they actually put their kabaya, the intrication of how the kabaya is being made, how they do their hair. They have the daytime hair, the nighttime hair, the bangs, the skirts, and how they walk, how they talk. And these are the things that I feel very pulled to, I gravitate towards them. And therefore, I feel very proud when I actually wear the kabaya and when I represent kabaya. When I perform outside, I get a lot of positive response and young people coming to me and they like the performance or they like my style. I don't think our culture will ever disappear. We have such rich culture. Malaysia being a mixed bag of a diverse society, I think it will always be there and it will never die.
Started everything with hip-hop, breakdance, and after that I start to discover a lot of type of dance that I think it's good to see that a lot of youngsters, especially when we look at the social media right now, right? There's a lot of something like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and also YouTube that bring a lot of influence from outside, especially like modern dance. And at the same time, what I know that traditional dance teach you more on the discipline and also the line. I really encourage this type of people or the youngsters or the new generation to keep learning and also put a bit of effort to learn traditional, and they should have the identity so that the Malaysian culture won't gone beyond the time. Telling you the truth, I don't like to see only Malay on stage. I'll bring the unity on stage. So for my dance crew name is Alamat Dance Troopers. We have Malay, Chinese, Indian, Sabahan. So all of them will be on stage at the same time. So that's the specialty of my dance crew.
To Women Talk. Thanks for staying with us. We have our two wonderful guests with us today, and they are Fatima Abu Bakar as well as Carissa Chong. And we're continuing our discussion on heritage in this era of globalization and modernization, and what it means to be Malaysian in that context.
For me, I really feel it's really, really important for them to start, for example, love for the arts, appreciation for the arts. It has to start from young, from school. So it becomes second nature to them. It's in their DNA when they grow up. So it's not like, oh, suddenly I'm listening to music and suddenly I'm eating something different. No, because it's very natural because they grow up with it.
Yeah.
Yes, start from school. But then, like you mentioned, yes, they also need more information from whatever that they watch, they read, they listen to.
Yes.
You know,
You know, because at home, I think it's really interesting because sometimes where parents don't have the time, for example, right? And you say you have a multi-language, a multilingual family.
Precisely.
Right? I see one parent maybe speaking exclusively one language and the other parent teaching, because at least in school they learn Bahasa and they learn English, right? But I guess what I'm wondering as well, Carissa, is as you also see in the creative industry, there's a lot of pressure for people to be global, be international. How have you stayed true to your Malaysian identity while appealing to the international audiences?
I think, of course, for young audiences, it's very easy to be attracted to global trends, but I think it's having that confidence in your roots again, in your identity, to embrace that you are truly Malaysian. You know, and I see this, we bring this element also in pageantry, which I really love. You know, a lot of people always question, is pageant still relevant? And I always say yes, because through pageantry, you can actually see the national costumes. Like, for example, this year in our Miss Universe Malaysia Gala Night, we actually had our finalists parade in different national costumes from different states.
That's incredible.
And we actually, you know, it's designed very differently. It's not just the traditional way.
It's modernized.
It's modernized, it's enhanced, you know, so it's literally bringing culture into today's life and, you know, kind of reinterpreting it. And we also implemented where we had the girls donned in a songket evening gown.
Oh, wow.
So all 16 girls were actually on stage wearing beautiful evening gowns made our local designer in songket.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's one way of bringing back our culture, implementing it, you know, into a global trend.
On a global stage as well.
Exactly.
It's exposure.
And I think it's about really bringing out your own voice. You know, people like authenticity, people like originality, and I think that's where culture comes in and it fits into the whole package.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think we have to find ways in which, you know, we preserve and pass it along to the other generation. So I'm sure, you know, even for you, Auntie Fatih, when you're teaching certain excerpts and things like that, you know, sometimes I wish that in schools, when I was growing up, I wish that they had shown a few more like P. Ramlee films that are a bit, you know, like, you know, I mean, that's not like PG-13, you know, like, and a bit more of that. So in your teaching, have you worked with a lot of traditional text or forms of music and things like that?
Lately, not so. But the essence in most of the characters that my students are portraying, it goes back to how strong that person is and the way that character, meaning all of us, how strong our upbringing is. So that one, if you're talking about who we are, that one is, so if that foundation is strong, then you build on that for all the characters that you play. Like what Carissa says, is so wonderful that you can be modern and yet not lose yourself.
Yes,
you know, so like a certain traditional wear, you can make it modern, but at the same time, the moment we see it, it's so uniquely Malaysian. So we know that's us. So I think that's so beautiful.
So we're going to take a quick break at the moment, but when we're back, we're going to talk about how different ways to express our identities through modernity, rooted in culture. Don't go away. Welcome back. We're still on Women Talk, where we're talking about modernity giving us new ways to express our identity, but it also challenges us to stay rooted in our tradition and culture. So today we're talking about this dichotomy, or perhaps this challenge in modernization. And maybe let's talk about social media, which in itself is a culture, right?
Social media culture.
Yeah. Carissa, why don't we start with you? I mean, you use social media a lot in work and your personal career as well. So tell us about how social media is defining a lot of our cultural expression. You know, how can it be used more? Do you think it's potentially diluting?
I see social media as a tool, you know, and if we use social media for the right reasons and right purpose, we can actually express our culture way more. You know, with social media, I think that's how you're able to give more visibility to our culture, reach global audiences, and for me, what I really love for like social media, I'm not sure about you guys, is that every time when it comes to like a celebration, you know, let's say Deepavali just passed, you start seeing everyone posting about Deepavali, the food that they're eating, you know, and it's all through just social media. You know, back in the days, I believe like you don't get to see it, you know, so now when you're more exposed to it, you're like, oh, okay, like now I see like there's this kind of food for this culture, there's this kind of traditional wear. You know, it goes also for like Hari Raya, Chinese New Year.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how much, you know, I think that open house concept also is a great thing, and then we really get the opportunity to experience the Muhibah spirit together.
Yes.
But don't forget, it's also a double-edged sword.
Yes.
So you need to, like you said, you have to use it carefully and wisely. Yeah, to your advantage, and also to be really aware of how it can potentially go wrong if you're not, you know, if you're not careful.
Touch a little bit on that, Auntie Fatih? You know, I mean, fewer family meals, you know, as at a table. And I bring this up because UNESCO has actually highlighted how both digitalization and urbanization are changing how Malaysians experience heritage. There are some positive aspects, absolutely. But however, there's also, you know, where people are more interested in that, very tangible things like traditional craft or the language of certain, as people are going more towards cities, languages of certain tribes are also being lost. You know, so, you know, what are your thoughts on how we could perhaps preserve it?
Preserving. You know, there is one wonderful example of this artist and, you know, a wonderful person whom I would like to call a dear friend, Ilan, all right, in Sabah.
Yes.
You know, the work that she's done, preserving and yet making it modern. Her art in, you know, weaving the traditional, weaving the mats, the tika mengkuang, you know?
Yes, from the Mengkuang leaves.
She's got some of her indigenous partners, this lovely women in the kampong that she you know visits and works with, and they have come up with beautiful tika mengkuangs that those tika mengkuangs tell their stories. It's woven into the mat. And she's brought them to the world, exhibitions all over the world. It's amazing. So this is one way. And then also, because she's also very social media savvy, her stories she captures and she shares all that on her social media. So we all get to know, if you've not been to any of the exhibitions physically to watch, you can follow her progress. You know, so that's one way of like pushing us into the future, but bringing our soul, our spirit, our creativeness, you know,
out there as well onto
definitely.
the global platform. I think that's wonderful. I think she was featured actually at the World Expo in Japan recently. Okay. Let's talk about that. As you said, you know, she also went to the kampong and brought these indigenous artisans and bring their work alive, so that it helps protect them and also give them a form of income, right?
Precisely.
Let's talk about the kampong spirit. You know, everyone is living in such silos in modern living. Right? We go to work, we come home, okay, we've got our little silo, whether it's a nuclear family. And that sense of belonging and empathy, do you feel that in this fast-paced society that we're in, when was the last time you had fun to just, play with fireworks or run around, have your phone aside, not think about it?
Yeah.
Personally, I mean, like...
I know. Food, that's one of the things. It's like, oh my God. I see my grandchildren also. You sit down and makan and all got phones in their faces. I say, hey, hello, phone. But you're right. I mean, there's one thing I've always been very, very jealous of, of my husband, because he can tell me about times when he was in his kampong in Kedah.
Yes.
But I grew up in Penang, more in a more urban. So I didn't have that. But I shared it through his experiences, what he shared with me, and photographs and all that. But it's real, like you said, it's true. It's just so important for people to get together, for families to sit down and have meals together.
Exactly.
Yeah, at least once a month. I know it's so difficult. Everybody's so busy, but yeah, at least once a month. Yeah.
I think Malaysians are also quite good in the sense of when we do have a long holiday or a public holiday, traffic is bad for a reason. Everyone is going back to visit their parents, and I hope they go back to kampong and and especially for young children these days.
Yes.
What do you think about how their lack of exposure perhaps to real kampong life?
Do you have a kampong?
Teresa.
I do.
Wonderful.
Yeah, where's your kampong?
Well, my mom is from Setiawan and my dad is from Pahang.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's very important for young people in the sense where, let's say you don't have a kampong, but your parents do have a kampong. It's very nice to go back and be curious to explore it. I think family also plays an important role to implement those values of togetherness.
Yes.
I think that's been lacking a lot because people tend to as what Auntie Fatia said, you come to dinner, you're just on your phones, or you're just like the phone eats first.
That's okay as long as you still have a conversation, right?
Yeah, so I think it's just really at the end of the day values and continuous storytelling. I find that storytelling
absolutely
is really wonderful when you get people's interest in where this culture came from, what you went through, and what's the kampong life about, getting people's curiosity and actually then sparking them to actually go towards the kampong spirit.
That's right, yeah.
I think that's wonderful for us to be reminded, right? That spirit of community and muhibah and actually intergenerational support is important. And going back to our roots, physically going back to our roots. Thank you so much for being here on the show and for sharing your input and your insights and your work and life experience. I think it's wonderful to recognize that we have, in fact, invested in our own preservation in some way of our culture and weaving it into modern life, and as you said, there's some tools, but certain values. And we'd like to say on that note that it isn't actually to choose between hanging on or hanging on to just heritage, the way things have been done, and choosing that between modernity. But I think it's good that we allow one to inspire the other and we find relevant ways to weave them all together. Thank you for reminding us not to forget where we came from and in your own ways, continuing your storytelling and heritage and culture. It's been wonderful having you both on the show.
Thank you. It's wonderful being here.
It was a pleasure.
My pleasure. And for those of you who'd like to rewatch this episode or you haven't been able to watch the full episode, catch us on social media at Women Talk TV3 or at TV3 Malaysia. I'm Anita Woo and this has been Women Talk.